Hey, yo, fellow collectors, how's it going? How y'all doing? What are we up to and what are we doing? Today we got episode 4 of Let's Talk Collectively, and I'm doing another interview with a special guest. Y'all might know him from the veve community or even in the veve poet corner from Superstars, Mr. Froey Comey. How are you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. Just had some breakfast with the old ladies and having coffee, just chilling, having a good morning so far. What about you?
Same. Yeah, definitely. Coffee, lifeblood. So here's mine.
Gotta get the blood flowing.
Absolutely.
A little boost. All right, man. So I wanted to bring you on because I overheard quite a few times that throughout your whole life you've done a lot of collecting, and from what it sounds like, it seems like that's just part of your character, part of who you are. And I want to start with like when and where did you start collecting? Where I mean, did it start as a kid? Did it kind of like grow on as you got older? How did that go?
Oh yeah, definitely. Started as, gosh, I was what, maybe 9, 10 at the time, I believe. Um,
No.
I want to say the first collectible I've started, I guess, just to lean towards was either Transformers and GoBots, and it just kind of evolved from there. To He-Man and Silverhawks, like just all of the '80s cartoons that became actual toys. So yeah, and it took off to where as I got older, I was able to afford more expensive toys, and
Yeah.
that kind of lead to down this path of what else is new and exciting, and then I found, I guess, coin collecting, um, stamps. Started collecting stamps for a while,
Okay.
and that kind of evolved to, fine art, uh, jade pieces, and also paintings, um, old, early 1900s, late 1800s paintings, and the whole time I'm doing all this, my Transformer collection just kept growing and growing, and I
Uh,
think I amassed over probably at one point maybe 3,000 pieces.
what?
Yeah,
All
yeah, it got,
Transformers.
all Transformers. It got pretty insane, and along the line there, I just kept picking up other things like more physicals like Spawn, Dragon Ball Z, not so much Pokemon, but anything like kind of just came out latest greatest. A lot of McFarlane figures, sports figures, and that kind of led me down the path of sports cards. So
Okay.
yeah, there was buying sports cards. Started off small, just a one card here, one card there. Then I turned into buying packs, and packs start turning into buying boxes and boxes of cards. And before you know it, I'm buying cases and just opening up all these packs and looking for that one secret rare, I guess you'd call it, chase card. And that lasted for a while until I figured, man, I'm not making any money off this. It's just pure collection. So I never really sold anything. I just kind of held on to everything and sent a bunch out for grading. And that was kind of, I'd say, where the pandemic hit
Okay.
and VV started, and it was pretty much game over from there. So I'm more into, I guess, digital, and I've been trading away and selling off a lot of my physicals to other collectors who have known I've had them, and they just need few pieces to collect just to complete their set, or that one piece where they've always wanted and I've had for all these years, and they'd come over with trade, and like I'd part ways with it. It's gone to a better home. Like with me, it was sitting in the garage in a box, or just for myself collecting dust, so someone else can enjoy it. But yeah, that's how it all started, man. I might have left a few things out here and there, but for the gist of it, um, that's how my whole collection journey started.
It just kept growing on and on, huh? So with GoBots, I had looked a little bit into this because I know you posted a tweet not that long ago with your GoBot and Transformer. I didn't really know anything about GoBots at all. I only knew about Transformers like Thundercats, He Man. Yeah, He Man. I didn't really watch it as a kid, but definitely Thundercats, definitely Transformers. What what like what would you say you loved more about Transformers than GoBots or He Man? I mean,
Um,
or do you love He Man more than Transformers? I mean, with a thousand some pieces, I think you like Transformers more.
yeah, absolutely. So with GoBots, I remember they were a lot cheaper, a bit more affordable, and it was kind of like a three-step process. You'd flip the dude up, move his arms out, then he's a robot, and you flip him back down, put his arms back in, and he becomes like a train. So it was
Okay.
not too complicated, very simple. And then when Transformers got introduced to the market, they're a bit more complicated, more moving parts. You had to do this, you had to do that. So it was like a puzzle. So it became more of a challenge, I think. And then they're, much more intricate, much more detailed. And as you can combine all these, Transformers together, make one super Transformer, like the Constructicons,
Okay.
Devastator, Menasor, um, Onslaught. So all these combiners in the early 80s kind of made it about just a bit more fun. So that's why I gravitated more towards Transformers, and GoBots kind of went by the wayside. And I mean, I still have a few GoBots that are still mint in the package, but not from my childhood. It was just pieces I picked up along the way. And I don't, I don't think I only have one piece I think from my childhood, and that's the Boba Fett from 1977. So yeah, that one. I don't know how it stayed with me, but everything else got lost or destroyed or misplaced.
Is that one of the
Um,
ones that's like still in the package?
no, no, this is well
Oh,
played. It's like the paint's chipping off. It's I used to sleep with it under. I had it under my pillow when I slept. I when it snowed in South Carolina, I'd take it out and throw them in the snow, and then my brother and I would take turns trying to find them. Like, hey, go find them.
that's
Um,
funny.
yeah, and bath time. Like he went into the bath with me. Like he just hung out, and yeah, it's the dude's still here, like in my desk drawer.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Like nowadays, you don't think of holding on to something like that from when you're a child. I mean, as a child, you don't think about holding on to anything. You're just playing with everything. So it's crazy that you still have that.
right. Yeah, it's by dumb luck, I guess. Like it's always been like I don't know how he survived. I had him in different, probably like 100 different boxes of toys that he's been placed in and out of. And when I left home, I joined the Marines. I came back and he was still there in the box at my parents' house, and I was like, "Whoa!" So I took him with me, and yeah, survivor.
I'm surprised you didn't take him with you in the military. Then again, you couldn't take that stuff, right?
No, no, yeah, yeah. Otherwise, I'd probably try to sneak him in, but no.
Well, speaking of Boba Fett, we got R2D2 and C3PO here. It is still what, Star Wars month, right? We're still
May,
in May.
yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we see some more Star Wars drops on VV. Maybe not. We just had this last one. What was it? Akbar. What's his name? How can I forget his name?
Rancor, Jabba the Hutt.
Yep, yeah. I don't know how I can forget Jabba the Hutt's name. um, but did you did you like really like Star Wars growing up, or was it definitely 100% Transformers over everything?
No, it's pretty much everything. Star Wars. I
Okay,
think every kid wanted to be Luke Skywalker. Um,
okay,
yeah, it's and then Yoda was a big thing. So whatever came out at the time was kind of where we tried to collect. And
Okay.
Star Wars was just kind of, it wasn't really any Star Wars cartoons. It was just more of the movie. So
Right.
after the movie hit, you'd wait to watch it on VHS, or if it ever played on regular broadcast TV. But whereas like the Saturday morning cartoons are every morning, so you'd get them. So it's always in your face, and you're like, ooh, I'm going to the store, I'm buying that.
Oh, like X
So
Men, Transformers, Spider Man, all of those
oh
retro
yeah, retro.
cartoons, basically.
Yeah, like He-Man. Oh man, I was all over He-Man. It was just I bought as many as I could, but I figured out it's costly. So we started going to flea markets,
Okay.
and I was picking up He-Man for 5 cents. 5 cents. Yeah, 5 cents was the cheapest that I
That's
bought He-Man for, and
okay.
10 cents, um, a quarter. Like it was insane money at the time, and so I remember like the flea market is a gold mine. So every Saturday and Sunday, I'd be like, Dad, wake up. We going to the flea market this week? I did my chores. I got my allowance. I'm
Yeah.
ready to rock and roll. So I'm pumped. So that was kind of like my shortcut into collecting for me. Like you'd go and you see all kinds of stuff, not just toys, but also um, collectibles like coin stamps, and that's kind of where antiques, and that's kind of where I kind of just went down that rabbit hole. Also, I was like, "Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Why is it? How much is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is like $10." And $10 in the '80s is a lot of money. And you're like, "Why is it so much?" And then they tell you like, "Oh, because it's this, and this." And so I made like a mental note. So next time I saw it at the flea market being sold by someone else, and they're selling it for less than $10, and they're going, "Hey, it's $3." I'd go, "Well, if they're selling for $10 over there, and you want three, I'm buying it for three." And I'll go back to the dude that's selling for $10, and I'll tell him how about $6. And that's kind of where I learned how to flip early in life. Is
Okay.
just kind of fell into it. Weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's crazy. How much time has changed. Like a quarter, 10 cents, 5 cents. Like that's nothing compared to now. Like it's just a trip to see like the inflation and how like to talk to someone like you, like from back in the day, like and obviously you're not that old, but like it's just it's a trip to watch all this grow. um so with that, like do you see like a future in digital collecting rather than physical? Does it like do you think physical and digital will coexist forever, or will it like just go straight to digital, stay digital forever? What do you think?
Mm, good question. Good question. Like times change, and collecting changes. So it's always something new that comes in, and the collecting world kind of either adapts to it or just rejects it. But ultimately, in the end, I think everyone ends up kind of going with the mass. So if masses are going with digital, I could see other companies following suit. Like Mattel just came out with their Hot Wheels, and
Mhm,
Mattel's been
mhm.
forever physical. I mean, you're buying Hot Wheels from what, the '60s, um, and here they are now coming out with the digital Hot Wheels. So you know, with them coming on, and you see all the other IPs that we have on veve. So it's just a matter of time, I think, before all the major brands start hopping on board. I mean, we've already gone from physical money to digital currency. So I mean, it's
Right,
it's just a matter of time.
right.
Yeah,
And digital
and
currency like barely popped off recently, right? Like I haven't looked too much into it, but I know it's been growing over the past couple of years, and it's crazy how fast this technology is moving.
right. No, I totally agree. And I mean, if you look at kind of the trends, everything's trending towards digital. So like comic books, I mean, that's a great example for comic books. I mean, how much longer are you going to print out comic books? if the minimum wage price goes up and people that are printing comic books are demanding a few bucks more, and the price of the
Yeah.
comic book now it goes up a few cents, if not dollars.
Dollars.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to come to a point where like, hey, we're cutting down trees and it's costing this much to produce this, and we got to pay this many people. Is the comic book being produced in the end worth it? Is it? Are we making any money at this point versus putting out digital comic books and just numbering them, mint numbers, and we're done, right?
Right. Right.
Because
No. Yeah.
yeah, those machines cost a lot of money to keep up operating, and yeah, I say less than 10 years, 10 years or less, maybe even sooner. Comic books will just all maybe one day just come to a halt and be like, hey, we're not producing anymore, and
Yeah.
that might be a reality. It might not be, but I mean, it's just I'm just following the trend, and trend's telling me it's everything's going digital. So I mean, you and I were talking earlier about is it Roblox and how skins and clothing and all that. I mean, and then kids are being introduced to that kind of early age.
Hmm.
So by the time they're in their teenage years, they're going to be fully immersed in that, and they're going to be what's a physical toy anymore? I mean, it's all in the palm of their hands, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, because they are the future, and 10, 15, 20 years from now, you and I'd be like, our opinions really won't matter too much because they're the new generation that's taken over, and if they're all going into digital now, you can just imagine them in their 20s, like, hey, look, we never had physical toys. Who needs them? I've got 10,000 digitals in my phone here, and I can show you.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think just with the times, things change, collecting changes, and um, it's just a matter of time.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, even from the '90s, we watched a lot change in physical to digital because we've seen. I mean, I grew up in an age where I got to see VHSs, I got to see DVDs and tapes, the old television box television. Like everything has just constantly evolved over time, and I've watched the computer age, I've watched the digital age unfold, and everything's going digital. Even music's going digital. Now we have it all on our phone, Spotify, Apple Music. It's all, and no one, hardly anybody has a CD case in their car anymore. So like you said, it's just a matter of time at this point. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, like with that, do you collect more digitally now than you do physical,
Absolutely. Like I
or is it like kind of mixed?
no, I think the last digital. Well, I'm buying digitals every day, so it's, like I'm buying comic books on the app, digitals that are it's just I just I went and I fumbled into Hot Wheels, bought that bought that Elmont X project. I bought
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I bought one just I'm trying one of everything just see if I like it, and if I do, I'll just kind of just dive in and pick up a few more. Haven't bought a physical in a while. I want to say the last physical I bought was for that Todd McFarlane drop. Like you had to have had to spend I think it was $200 maybe to get the Todd McFarlane drop, the the NFT.
Oh, is this the Spawn one?
Hmm. Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know much about it.
yeah. So I mean that was the last um, physical I bought, and it seemed like you had to buy the physical to get the NFT. So I was kind
So
of
it was
like,
like a
well,
phygital. It was like a phygital type of deal.
um, not really. Well, it seemed like if you had to spend X amount of dollars to buy the physicals. It doesn't matter what you buy, you just got to spend over X amount of dollars. It might have been $200. I
Mm,
can't remember. And
gotcha.
then you'll get just a random drop of the spawn.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I went kind of. I did that. That was the last physical I bought, I think. Um, yeah, I've been kind of just winding down. My physical collection has just been sitting there. I'm not doing anything with it. If I got friends that want to come over and trade or pick up a few things, I'd sell it to them. But yeah, my physical is kind of coming to a halt now. Like what I have is what I have, and I really don't plan on adding too much more to it unless there's a special piece that I've been chasing forever and the price is right. Then yeah, I'll keep adding to my physicals.
Okay, okay. So throughout your whole collecting journey, I mean, it seems like you kind of have been pulled in different directions. Have you ever had a struggle with sticking to one category of collecting, or is it just kind of like collecting what you love and doesn't really matter?
Mm, yeah. Second part, clicking to what I love, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
I might have mentioned before, growing up, my dad ended up opening up like an antique shop. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I think all the trips to the flea market kind of opened up his eyes of, hey, I can probably do this too, and but not just on Saturdays and Sundays. I'll open up a shop that's open 7 days a week. People could come here and look for flea market treasures. So he did that. So like on Saturdays and Sundays, we'd go to the flea markets and he'd buy stuff, inventory, I guess, for his antique shop. We get back and he'll place it into his antique shop and he'll just run up the numbers. So it was kind of a good flip for him, and I kind of learned flipping early that way also.
Okay.
And yeah, it's one of those life learning lessons, where you gotta live through it to understand it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. Yeah. We learn everything from our parents, right? So
yeah.
I think having that like flipping mentality early is probably a good thing. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, flipping, you're not a real collector, this and that," but it's part of it. Flipping, trading. I mean, how are you gonna attain the things you truly want if you can't flip something that you don't really care for, so to speak?
Right. No, it's great that you said that. I mean, it was pretty much how he made money and how he put, uh, I guess, food on the table was buying items at a great price and sell them for a greater price. So it was kind of like you said, just not so much collecting for him, but he was buying stuff because that was how he made money and how he survived, I guess. And it was a hobby for him, but he loved it. So it wasn't really work to him. It was more like, let's go to the flea market, let's go shopping.
Yeah.
And then he'd always have collectors that would go to the shop and they only look for certain things. Like there'd be a guy looking for just antique watches, and another guy come in, all he wanted is stamps, and another guy comes in, all he wants is coins, and another person comes in and all they want is like just old vintage toys and trains or whatnot. So anytime he had something in the shop, they give him a call. Hey, that toy set you're looking for, I got it. Come on in. So yeah, he was pretty savvy at doing that, and kind of learned a little bit of my craft from him. And yeah, but that was different. I mean, that was kind of, you had to do that to put food on the table.
Right.
And
Right.
but whereas on VV, I'm not really needing to sell anything, so I'm more of a collector now. But it's two different circumstances. So
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah.
So, how do you think your collection physically? We'll start with physical. How do you think evolved over time? Like, has it um how do you say it? Like, have you gone like deeper into antiques than you would like your Transformers, or is it kind of both? Anything you see
Mm,
like a good opportunity, you're just like, all right, cool. That sounds good. I'm gonna have that.
yeah, pretty much exactly what you said. As a collector, I've always looked for stuff that would pique my interest.
Hmm.
And if it was kind of unique and weird, I've never seen anything like it, I'd buy it right then and there and just research it later when I get home. So Transformers, anytime I see that anywhere, like it's at the store, antique shop, I'd buy them just to find them like a home.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it kind of evolved from just toys to more, I guess, to stuff that other collectors would kind of gear towards more. Like not everybody loves Transformers, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of people that can appreciate art, be it a sculpture, a painting, you know, jewelry. So I mean, everyone can appreciate art, and
Right.
I yeah, so I'd pick up a lot more pricier items, just art pieces here and there, and some I still have, and some I've already sold along the way to trade up and get what I really wanted.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, throughout the years, I mean, what has been your favorite thing to collect? It seems like you have quite a lot that you have collected, but is there anything that's been your favorite?
Mm, like
Like
favorite.
you had more fun doing it, or something that you actually love, like to your core that you just can't get rid of.
Yeah, my Achilles is Transformers. Like I just, it's so hard for me to walk past an aisle of toys and not look for Transformers at the department stores.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it's my weakness there. It's like my kryptonite. I walk past Transformers and like at Comic Con, I'm walking past all these tables of Transformers and everything at Comic Con's overpriced anyways. You know, they price it up just to pay for the booth, I
Right.
guess.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's that'll be the thing that I thoroughly enjoy collecting is Transformers because I got pieces that need guns and accessories. I'm always looking out for um, the missing parts, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure with all the million pieces that articulate, like they break over time, so you missing a lot of pieces. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is there like a favorite character you have in Transformers?
Mm, yeah, everyone loves Optimus Prime. You know, he's just a fan favorite, um, iconic. The old
Oh yeah,
cab, yeah, the truck. I've got I don't know, probably 12 of them now, like 12. Um,
Optimus
but it,
Primes.
yeah, but they're all complete. They're all
Okay.
like with all the pieces, and some are in better condition than others, and some are just loose and well played with or well loved. Join
Right.
people in bathtubs. So yeah,
Like Silicon. Silicon's probably playing with some toys in his bathtub. You remember that picture
yeah, yeah.
a little while
Was
ago?
that was pretty
That
funny.
was funny. Yeah. So Optimus Prime is your favorite, you would say?
Yeah, I'd say he's one of you could. He's not too rare because they made so many of them.
Right.
But
Right.
I mean, like there's a lot of rarer pieces out there that I was able to locate and track and hunt down. Like there's a red bumblebee that's
A red
pretty rare.
bumblebee.
Yeah, I have that. Um, I think it was made earlier by Takara before Transformers became Transformers are here. Um, and they were brought over by Hasbro, I think. Um,
I think so. Something like that. One of
they
the little
were,
companies.
Takara. So Takara had them, and they were all different colors. But they weren't called Transformers yet. You find them
They
like
were
in
like they weren't cars. They were what? They were just like machines. They I mean they
no,
were
they
just
were
trans.
cars. They were
Oh, they
cars.
were cars.
Yeah, like you'd find like Sunstreak, the yellow Sunstreak, the Lamborghini.
Mm-hmm.
When he was with Takara, when before they became Transformers and brought over to the United States, there were Takara in Japan, and it was red. So I mean, if you find
Interesting.
a
I'm gonna have to
red,
look that up.
yeah, yeah, they're super rare now, and Depends on the condition. If it's in a box, you could be paying up to the thousands for them. So it's kind of like a hunt, and the better condition the box is, the higher the grade, and the more you be paying out.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I, I I gotta look that up now because red's my favorite color. Bumblebee is one of my favorites. I now I have to. I might be doing something crazy. Um, so what has been your rarest item you've collected over the years? Or I guess
Hmm.
rarest, most valuable, and how did you get it?
Hmm. Well, not too much. I said valuable, but one of the rare pieces I have is like a signed index card by Jim Thorpe,
Mm,
uh, Olympic gold medalist. Um, he was kind of, I guess, hailed as the father of football almost.
hmm.
They he played for Canton Bulldogs before there was an NFL.
What
And
was his name again?
Jim Thorpe,
Jim Thorpe. I'm gonna look
yeah,
that up.
yeah, Olympic gold medalist. He was a all around athlete. He played Major League Baseball, like for the Yankees and a few other teams. He was track and field, football, baseball. He did it all. He was like the Bo Jackson before Bo Jackson.
Okay, yeah,
So
I know that name. I've heard that name.
yeah, well,
So
he
so
was the
he.
first to do it. Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah.
So what was it that you had signed? It was like a piece of index card. You said.
Yeah, yeah. So it's an index card that was signed back when I guess he had won the gold medals from the I think it's 1912 Olympic Games.
Oh
Yeah, so it,
wow,
it goes way
that's a long
back.
time
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. So
That's a
it
piece
was
of history right
originally,
there.
yeah, it is, and he's I think he was named like the athlete of the century, like if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he was one of the iconic pieces of I guess
Olympic history, so to
yeah,
speak.
because it had his first baseball card, football card didn't really exist until
Hmm.
much later on.
Okay.
But his I guess his what's hailed as his first card was his Olympic card. There's this card of him. It's a postcard. It's not even a real card.
Oh wow.
It's a postcard of him, and he's walking, and he's in his Olympic uniform, and it has his name, Jim Thorpe, or it might have been James Thorpe. And if you can find that, that's like a grail, man. People are looking, paying 5 figures for that, easy. Ungraded, just in any condition, I guess.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
crazy what
So
people
that.
will do for to own a piece of history.
Oh yeah, and I've always been like when I got into sports collecting, Jim Thorpe was kind of like my chase card, and I was chasing anything Jim Thorpe. And memorabilia cards where they had a piece of his clothing from a uniform that was attached to the card. Limited. They're always limited. Anything of his is pretty much limited.
At this point, yeah.
Serialized, yeah. And then I kind of like just dug into his story a little more and saw how he kind of overcame a lot of things to be great. Because America early in those days, I mean, not if were a different type of background, you just wouldn't get the push or the love that certain other backgrounds would get. So yeah, he was stripped of the Olympic medals only because they said he was kind of pro. He was already playing for a pro team,
Mm.
and so they stripped him, and they ended up reinstating those gold medals to him not too long ago, just a few years back. And he long passed away in the 70s, so he never lived to see this. But I'm sure it's a win for his family and his grandkids or great grandkids.
That's crazy that they'll even do that when he's already gone. Like, how do you strip someone of their medals when they're already, dead?
Oh no, no, they stripped him of the medals when he was alive, and they
Oh, okay.
reinstated them. Yeah, after he long passed.
That's crazy.
So yeah, and they renamed the town after him in Pennsylvania. They renamed it Jim Thorpe, so it's Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's if you look into his story, it's pretty interesting. Iconic figure, and a lot of the OGs who's ever been collecting would know Jim Thorpe, and not too many. And now it's all about the newer guys like LeBron James and all that. So, but yeah, like Jim Thorpe, one of the not the most expensive piece, but one of the pieces I treasure just because of the story and how long it took me to get the piece that I had. So yeah, I had it framed. I'll send you a photo. So if you want to just throw it up on
Yeah,
the screen later on,
yeah,
yeah,
I got you.
it's a chase piece, and it's tied with. So I got two. It's him, the Jim Thorpe piece, and also a signed baseball. And if OG Vault is watching, he'll know it's Roberto Clemente,
Oh,
the baseball player. Yeah,
yeah, he
he
was
passed
talking about him.
away. Yeah, in a plane crash back in the '70s. So I remember growing up, he was kind of like the hit player everyone was talking about because all the charity work he did, and great player. So I kind of made it my dream to hunt down an autograph of his, and they're very expensive and they're hard to find. So
Oh, yeah.
I was lucky enough to find someone who was willing to sell me one, and it was a private sale, and here in California. And not only is it a Roberto Clemente autograph, but he signed it Bob Clemente. So like
Um,
early on, like if your name was not too much, if it was kind of not American enough, you didn't fit in. So instead of being Roberto, he signed it Bob, which sound like more
more.
American. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But once he became you know famous, and he's like, I'm not going to sign Bob anymore. I'm going to be who I am, and this is my roots. This is my heritage. Roberto Clemente. So you'll find a lot of Roberto Clemente autographs, but when he signed them Bob, those are very very rare and hard to find. Not too many exist, and I happen to have one. And yeah,
Have to
it's
send me a picture too, so I can be like, whoa, check
oh
that out.
yeah, absolutely,
Like,
absolutely. It's actually right here.
oh, it's wrapped. That's crazy, dude.
It's just
What is
in a
it? What is
case.
it in? It's like a case, like a baseball
Yeah,
case.
baseball case.
That's
Cause
crazy,
I know it's so yellow because it's so old.
right?
But I'm not gonna have it cleaned. It's all patina, all the yellow one. Like it's a very old baseball, anyways.
Yeah,
And I'm putting it back into a dark space where I keep all of my because the ink on there I don't want it to fade.
right, right.
Yeah, so if I keep it out of the sunlight or out of any UV lighting, it'll stay fresh and clean, and that's why it's in that case. But yeah, man, that's one of my chase pieces. So yeah,
That's
Roberto
awesome.
Clemente. Yeah, OG Ball, if you're watching, that was it.
A iconic piece of history, man. That's crazy that you have that baseball. It's cool to see like the evolution of these baseballs as well because they've gotten obviously better over time.
Oh yeah, oh
Um,
yeah.
so do you with sports? Do you lean more towards baseball or basketball, football? What would you say is
Mm,
your favorite sport?
I'd say football first.
Okay.
Football and then baseball. Just because of Jim Thorpe, and I mean, over the years, I've collected so many what to me at the time were grails that I ended up parting ways with them to pick up other collectibles that I really wanted. So yeah, like I've had old pieces that just I mean like here here's my like one of my favorite cards in the world. It's not the most expensive one, but it's a Barry Sanders.
Okay. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little hard with the green screen.
Oh yeah, it's there it is.
There it is.
Barry Sanders rookie card from Pro Set. I mean, it's not worth a ton, but when
Uh,
I was growing up, when I first got into football, this was the card that I was getting a lot of, and it became one of the things where that's my guy. And Barry Sanders had his great career, great running back, short career actually, but yeah, it's like one
who
of my
did he
favorite
play
cards.
for? Barry Sanders. That sounds familiar.
Uh, Detroit Lions.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to watch football a little like through high school. So I was caught up, and I used to like dip into the history, but then it just moved on. I guess phased out.
yeah. I know. I got a ton of football cards, but it seems like basketball cards are worth a ton more for some reason. Not sure why, but like I got a bunch of these Michael Jordan cards
Oh
all
dang.
graded. They're older. Like here's that one McDonald's one that was only given out by
Yeah, let
McDonald's.
me see. Let me see if we can bring it. There we go.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. 9.5.
nine point
But
five, and
but I
yeah,
mean, it's a McDonald's card. It's cool.
yeah, it's one of the rare cards, and then of course this one here, that's the metal, 9.5.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Michael
this
Jordan's
one's cool.
iconic.
Yeah, this one's cool one because of the flag. Like it's a custom border.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
From the grading company or something.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
HGA is the name of the company, and they're a little harder in grading than others, only because they use a computer. So
Gotcha.
the human error kind of gets taken out of it. But yeah, I got tons of LeBron James all graded. Don't plan on really selling them. Maybe trade them. So my collector was watching. I know his
Oh
Lakers, if they
man.
go all the way, yeah, got a few LeBron James cards you might be interested in. PCA 10,
Trade them up. Trade them up.
trade them up. Yeah,
What would you
PCA
be
10.
looking for? Oh, well, that was weird. Okay. What would you be looking for to trade?
I don't know, just anything. Like they'd probably
Just for the
be in a
experience?
better home. Yeah, they'd probably be in a better home with him, anyways. Because he's an actual Lakers fan. I'm just you know, I collect sports, so it's I've had him for a while, and so if LeBron does anything, maybe this might be worth something. Yeah, got a
I
ton of
mean, he's a good player, right? I mean, I've seen quite a few clips. He does well, and then he misses the ball on one shot. There was a recent clip I seen where he was going for a layup, and he just threw the ball, completely missed it.
yeah.
Like
No,
it
he's
was like the caption was, "Imagine Michael Jordan doing this" or something like that. Like, like, bro, come on, you gonna clown him like that? It's messed up.
yeah. That's pretty funny. No, I think he's one of the greatest athletes in basketball. Um, not the, but one. Like it's just different times. Like you the only thing I kind of not too fond of is he flops down a lot. Like you touch him on his wrist and he's gone. Like he's on the floor.
He's tipping.
You know, yeah. Like
Yeah.
back in the 80s and 90s, I mean, you're taking elbows to the face, and sometimes you
Yeah.
get a foul call, sometimes you don't. It's just rougher times. So yeah, I don't think he'd be doing as great if he was back in you know Michael Jordan's time. I'd say.
Maybe he'd be a little tougher.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely would help him out.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Um, man, yeah, I'm not gonna say I know too much about basketball, baseball. I did my time in sports, and now I'm more into automotive. So I got my history in that.
yeah.
Uh, so, in your view, what does it mean to be a collector?
Hmm. Great question. I think collecting is a, it's more of a passion. Everyone's got a passion.
Veve, collect.